All right, that should do it. That should be all we have to do. Yep, I see the audio going. Gonna throw something in chat if I can not, immediately get rid of it. Let's see, did that go? There we go. Welcome to the stream. Let us know what you're working on in the comments. All right. Hello, I am Traben of Traben's Tomes. I am a booktuber, a teacher, board game enthusiast, card game enthusiast, which will become more relevant in the next couple of weeks. And I'm currently on spring break because we decided to do it a week earlier this year. So yeah, we've been having a very busy time. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Amanda, also a booktuber from my channel is Amanda Should Be Reading. I'm married to this one. Notice he didn't say husband among his list of attributes.
That's fair.
And I'm here for the vibes.
Okay. So this is ostensibly a stream for productivity stream.
Do you want to start your timer?
Oh yeah, I guess we'll start the timer.
I will be being productive today by reading books because reading is productive, and my March TBR is needs some help. I need to get going. I've only read I think two things from my March TBR. Three things from my March TBR. So I need to get on it and read more. I had to pause because we had an unexpected opportunity to go to something, so I had to pause while I was reading something else.
Timer.
But now I need to get back to it and read some more. I'm worried I'm not going to get finished by the end of March.
I have the opposite problem. I will be being productive today by putting all of the things I've been reading into my journal.
I've read too many books.
Oh, so many.
So many. Why can't I hold all these books?
Yeah, do you know how many I've read this year so far? I take a guess?
How many?
45.
It's March.
It sure is. We picked up a bunch of manga this during this trip, like various places. And so I've been getting through a lot of that and reading a bunch of the things that you were recommending for me on our March Madness TBR swap, including Cat Gamer, which I have now read 6 volumes of.
As I predicted you might.
So I don't know that this might. I doubt this is going to take both of the sprints, but I'm going to start here and then we will see what happens. I think I don't think I'm getting out the
T-Rex.
The T-Rex. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get out the Book Nook today. I just don't have. I'm just not I'm not in the mood for that. So it'll be this. There's some other stuff in here that I can work on, like planning, like the 1-sentence reviews. I think I've got a couple more in there. I've got a couple of my 25 or 25 that I finished up, and then I might script out my look at Destroy All Humans, They Can't Be Regenerated, which is a Magic the Gathering nostalgia-filled manga that's coming out. It was very cool.
You're so cool.
I mean, sure. I mean, I just said the words Magic the Gathering manga. That's cool. Most people would not think that's cool. So,
all the people we like would.
That's fair. Yeah, a lot of our friends think that that's neat, and that's good because I like playing Magic. So you also picked up a book at your event today.
I did.
You want to talk about your event? You talked about it a little bit.
Well, I've talked about it in the vlog, but
Okay.
People probably won't watch both things. We can talk about it as though no one's ever heard of it.
Okay.
So today there was an author signing meeting for Elle Cosimano for the Finlay Donovan series for her new book, Finlay Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. And I tried really hard to get caught up in the series. I did not quite make it. I got through book 3, which I did not dislike as much as I feel like everybody else did. I'm really curious. I do want to go back and maybe watch Kayla's live stream for that one.
Okay.
Because I feel like I watched the beginning where everyone was like, I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. And then you stopped.
And then I stopped because I hadn't read it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I might go back and watch it and just kind of see what people were feeling on it. There were a couple things I really didn't like about it. I didn't enjoy the closed location of it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that kind of didn't add to it, and they didn't do much with it, and it was only a closed location when it felt like it.
Okay.
And then there were at least 2 scenes that just made me really mad, including one where a character who I had completely forgotten existed came back just to be a bitch.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
that was her entire contribution to the book.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, why did we need this? Like, we really didn't need this.
Yeah.
But it was fine. I thought the book was fine. I am extra annoyed because it is basically a continuation of the mystery from book 2.
Yeah,
but
you're
it is
saying I need to read 2
impossible.
and 3 together.
It is impossible to solve the case in book 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even believe there are any clues in book 2 to point to 3, which makes sense if she didn't have it planned out.
Mm-hmm.
That she didn't have who it was planned out yet.
Yeah, but that's like an extra annoying version of the thing I already hate going on in books.
Yes.
Just your book needs to have a plot. It needs to be its own thing.
Well, and you haven't read book 2, so I don't want to like spoil too much.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you, like, book 2 is about Finlay trying to find and stop the assassination of her ex-husband.
Yeah, the end of book 1 sets that up. So like I know the premise.
They solve some of that issue.
Mm-hmm.
They find out who ordered the hit.
Okay.
They do not figure out the identity of the assassin.
Okay.
And I found that really annoying.
Yeah, that seems very...
because that was the mystery you were trying to solve.
Mm-hmm.
And I also felt that the identity of the assassin, of who ordered the hit, was really underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to give away too much else for that. I found it a little silly, but it worked. It was fine. But I was really annoyed that we didn't find out who the assassin was.
Mm-hmm.
So book 3 is all about figuring out who the assassin is.
Mm-hmm.
And there are no clues in book 2 of it because that character hadn't been introduced yet.
Interesting. You also picked this up?
I did pick this up. So the store we were at, long story short, Elle Cosimano is great. She gave a great talk. She's really inspiring. Like, I left there wanting to write again.
Mm-hmm.
And being like, wow, I really do want to get back to my writing. Like, because she started writing right around where I'm at, like really devoting herself to it.
Mm-hmm.
And like pursuing it around the age I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really easy to get discouraged when you see a bunch of like 20-somethings being more successful than you can ever hope to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like hearing that like she was about my age when she really started like focusing on that
Mm-hmm.
made me be like, oh, like I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start writing again. So the bookstore I was at was called Murder by the Book. It is a mystery store. Pretty much everything in the store is a mystery. They had a couple of exceptions where they had like other books from, like Ashley Windale has some romances.
Mm-hmm.
So they had her books there as well because she was there.
Okay.
But I would say 95% of the books in the store are mysteries. Mystery fantasy, mystery horror, foreign mysteries, spy thrillers, historic mysteries, American mysteries. They're really well organized and just a really cool store. And so I bought this. It's a little like minute mystery type book, which we've done some before. We have a couple floating around here.
Yeah, I think they're over here now.
I think there's one over here. Yeah, Whodunit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a couple others around.
So yeah, we have a couple of these books where you have like that basically is the game Crack the Case,
Mhm.
kind of,
Sure.
where you're given a very short rundown of something,
Mhm.
and then you have to figure out what happened, or you have to answer the question.
Mhm.
And in Crack the Case, it's a interactive thing where you're asking questions and kind of developing.
Mhm.
You're given maybe less information than you need to solve it.
Mhm.
But in these are meant to possibly be solved just by you reading the book. So it'll have about a page of the mystery and then a page where you can write in clues and the things as you're trying to figure it out. We did the first one off camera.
Mm-hmm. Just to get a feel for it, because
Yeah.
these are really there's a mystery is a very wide genre as far as like putting in how solvable something is. So like we make a distinction between whodunits and like just general mysteries where you're not able to solve it. So we wanted to get a sense of like what is this trying to get us to figure out.
And the gimmick of this one is that it's minute mystery set in the 90s. And so one thing we discovered from the first mystery in here,
Mhm.
is that you do need outside knowledge of the 90s, which is good because we're both 90s kids.
We're 90s kids. Dude.
So we have a lot. We have the full experience of living through the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the first one relied on understanding how a Blockbuster works and understanding that like there are dummy cassettes in front of the copies of the cassettes that you take up to the front.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding that when those are gone, there's nothing behind the dummies. And so that when those are gone, that movie is sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And it relied on knowing a certain movie that came out during the 90s.
No.
Based on context clues and knowing the year, you could figure out the movie it was talking about. And it actually did mirror real world events of the time. Like it talked about in The Solution, it talked about how the thing they were talking about with this movie did happen. Mm-hmm. That there were shortages of this movie in rental stores. That was a real thing. And so I imagine if you were someone who went to Blockbuster all the time in the 90s, you might have been like, oh yeah, we couldn't get that movie. And like, I didn't go to Blockbusters very often. Mm-hmm.
So do you want to read one out? And
sure.
We can, like, we'll see. Maybe we'll solve it before the break. Maybe we'll leave it for a mystery.
Okay.
People will mull over for 45 minutes.
Okay, this one is called Bath and Dead Body Works. The twinkling lights flickered as Detective Wolf stepped into the store. Christmas music clanged in his ears as he weaved his way through sparkling banners, towering tablescapes with baskets of produce filled to the brim, and the thick curtain of mingling artificial aromas. But the sweet scent of sugar plum dreams was tainted by the discovery of a body. Detective, I came in this morning to drop off my monthly delivery, and she was just lying there, dead, gasped the young delivery man. Did anything else look strange to you? No, sir. She liked to come in early every day to set up the store. Detective Wolf walked by the young delivery man, pausing to gently pat his shoulder. You have something in your teeth. What have we got? Looks like a food allergy. Maybe a reaction to the fruit in the body spray. It's all over her, sighed the medic, holding up the purple plastic cylinder with a gloved hand. The body of the young brunette lay on the floor, her formerly dewy skin now clammy and cold. The medic shook his head. What a terrible accident. Heather always tested the body mist, whimpered the manager from a chair on the other side of the room. SPD is a limited edition for Christmas. Detective Wolf felt uneasy as he reviewed the galaxy of hives across her lips and throat. He knelt down and unfolded her tightly clenched fist. A crumpled ball rolled to the floor. He smoothed out a Mrs. Fields receipt. White chocolate macadamia nut. This was no accident. Detective Wolf looked up at the delivery man. When did she break up with you? Question. Why does Detective Wolf suspect the delivery man?
Okay. I'm gonna have to know about Bath and Body Works, like it is possibly a specific scent.
I mean, I picked up on something incredibly detailed.
The scent?
No. He said he came in this morning to drop off his monthly delivery. Uh-huh. But then he followed it up immediately with, she likes to come in early every day to set up the store. Uh-huh. How would he know what she does every day if he only shows up once a month?
I mean, that's fair.
So that I feel like that is a clue.
Uh-huh. I mean, that might have tipped him off that they're dating. Is he not really the delivery man? Is he delivering something else?
So I'm betting this real life body spray
Uh-huh.
caused allergic reactions in some people.
What was it called?
Sugar Plum Dreams.
Sugar Plum Dreams. Okay.
I'm guessing, since this is seeming very.
You could do some research. I can't do research. All my devices are busy.
I feel like if this is mirroring some sort of actual event, it will be that maybe this this caused allergic reaction. But it's also weird that the hives were around her lips, because you don't usually spray body mist around your mouth. So is she allergic to the cookie?
I don't know. I mean, I don't see anything in here about
widespread allergic reactions.
Widespread, like, yeah.
Did you search allergy?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not seeing anything in here specifically about allergies to this. But I do know, like, the scent of a Bath and Body Works is, like, overwhelming to a lot of people.
Yes, you hate it. You will not go into them with me.
So I don't know. It could be something with that. What was the macadamia in that thing?
She had he knelt down and unfolded her tightly clenched fist.
Mm-hmm.
A crumpled ball rolled to the floor. He smoothed out a Mrs. Fields receipt. That's a cookie company.
Mm-hmm.
White chocolate macadamia nut.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I don't know. I would think maybe there's something allergy with the cookie.
Yeah, that the delivery guy
less so with the
spray.
Yeah. So maybe the tip off is like that he's not the delivery person for the sprays. He's a delivery person for cookies. I don't know.
No, I feel like he says he came this morning to drop off his monthly delivery. You don't deliver cookies monthly.
Okay, well,
you have to deliver those daily, or you bake them on site.
Yeah. So we'll mull it over. We'll mull it over. We'll get back. We'll get back to it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Usual warning that the stream has crashed in the past when we have jumped over. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll get over into the streaming, like the working bit. We'll get the music going, and then we'll get started on our sprints. So, alrighty. See you guys in 45.
Get stuff done.
We're back. We're back.
We back.
Yeah.
Guess who's back? Back again. It's us. We're back. Tell a friend.
All right. Okay. Well, you want to start with your thoughts?
This was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if I liked this or not. I'm definitely not as enthralled with it as you were.
Oh yeah. No, I've read a bunch of those.
Like, I could see how this could get very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't know that this, if I had this in a manga tournament, I don't know that this would make it out of round one.
Oh no, I liked it a lot. I thought
I am not feeling compelled to go pick up the next volume.
Interesting. No, I found it really interesting. I thought the framing did a good job of building up to what you feel like comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I just don't feel like we had a good enough escalation. We have like this little bit of like there's something between the two of them.
And I also feel like it did a very good job of natural dialogue and doing a lot more through like the looks and the shading than through dialogue, because there's not a whole lot of dialogue.
There's not a whole lot of dialogue. It felt very not dense.
Yeah, but I feel like they do a lot with the facial expressions. They do a lot with the paneling. I really enjoyed it.
I wonder, and I'm sure it's not the same as this, but remember in Garzu's Wing, where like the whole thing is you're so easygoing.
Sure.
And
I don't
like
think we've
that's,
actually ever watched Garzu's Wing.
But like there's a whole thing there. And
Yeah.
that's not a great translation for that.
Mm-hmm.
That like it's not that you're easygoing, it's that you're like careless and aren't careful, aren't like concerned about things coming up. I'm wondering if overprotective here is doing more work, and if there's a separate. I'm really curious as to what the translation for that is, because he seems really upset by that term, or I'm wondering if whatever term is in the Japanese has a lot more of a negative connotation, like with the monster parents, which is what she does kind of seem to be. Although we only see that with the kindergarten, we don't see her like showing up at his middle school all the time. So I did feel this escalated very quickly, out of fairly nowhere. I feel like we set this like there's something going on here, there's something unhealthy potentially here, but then it like zooms up into the stratosphere.
Yeah, I liked that. I thought it did great, and that's like the climax of the first volume. So like it gets you like, oh, what's gonna happen next?
I mean, I just kind of felt like, what?
Okay.
And then she's just muttering to herself, and that was weird.
I mean, yeah.
Like she is clearly unwell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that this would beat out something I was more attached to the characters in.
Okay, I liked it a lot. So
it was fine.
Okay,
it's not going to get below a 3-star. I didn't dislike it. I just, for me, I don't know that this is more than a 3.
Okay,
I'll probably read more of it soon because we have it. I want to get through at least a few more of the things on my TBR before I'll
say, if you want another moment, read Knights. If you want a moment, read Kaiju Girl Comrades.
I really don't know what I want, but yeah, I don't know. I thought this was weird.
Okay, good.
Maybe I just am too tired for it right now.
No, I think you got out of it what you were gonna get out of it. I think it's very subdued.
Yeah,
I think it relies a lot on in my reviews several times I talked about how it relies a lot more heavily on nonverbal stuff than other comics, and how I thought that they did a pretty good job.
I guess she just seems too normal most of the time, and that the like inklings that there was something else there were so small that her going off the rails just really felt like I didn't have enough leading up to it to earn that moment. Like I wanted to see something else from her where she like snapped and like we caught the very end of it or something. I wanted to see something else where she snapped about something in the house or about someone in the neighborhood. I wanted to see like the tail end of it or something where we don't know it was her, but like we can infer later that she's the one who did it.
Yeah.
Just to kind of give that escalation to where you're like, oh no, something is definitely wrong with her. Whereas it just felt like she's kind of weird, but not like what she did weird.
Okay. Did you solve the mystery?
Of the Bath and Body Works?
Yeah.
Like I said, I think because he tells him that there's something in his teeth.
I think they shared the cookie.
Or do you think he bought the cookie and that she's allergic to? That she's allergic to the cookie. That he ate it and then was like, just give me one last kiss.
Okay. Did it say that it was mostly around her mouth?
Yeah, it said it's around her mouth and throat.
Her mouth and throat. Okay.
Her lips and throat.
Her lips and throat. Oh yeah, if he's getting in there.
Or did he like grab her and like make her kiss him and like?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Why is this in a bath? Like, I guess my only thing is like, why is it a Bath and Body Works then? And why are we giving so much attention to this scent that apparently
is only for Christmas? I don't know.
Okay. Maybe it's just.
I guess the thought was that it would be a good cover because they think she was allergic to something in the spray. Yeah,
and she sprays herself every morning, right?
They say she always tested the mists.
Yeah, it would also make it to where she maybe doesn't smell she doesn't smell something on him. Okay.
So then how did she get the receipt is my only question. Like as she was dying, like how did she get the receipt?
Why is she clutch? Yeah, because she was clutching it, right? Like in the ball. She like grabbed it out of his hand or something.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of.
And she like, why? All right,
let's want to see the clues?
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Do the clues, and then we'll probably just go ahead and read it.
Okay, and remember, not all of the clues are related to the answer. The aromas from the products are artificial. Oh, so even if it was like a fruit in the spray, it wouldn't be from a real fruit. It's all artificial stuff.
Yeah.
The delivery man knows Heather came in early every morning for her shift. I caught that.
Right.
The delivery man has food in his teeth. The medic notes an allergic reaction. He proposes the body spray, which is all over the body. Heather's lips and throat have a severe allergic reaction. There is a receipt for a white chocolate macadamia nut cookie in her tightly clenched fist. Okay, I feel like we have most of it.
I feel like we have most of it. I think the only other thing would be, like, they propose that the mist is part of it, but she does that every day. So, like...
Well, but the idea would be that this is a special limited edition for Christmas, so she hasn't done this one before.
Let's hear the solution, and then we'll do another one.
The delivery man was a touch too familiar with Heather's preferred hours, indicating the possibility that they knew each other better than he let on. The medic preemptively assumed her anaphylaxis was due to the fruits in the body mist, but the aromas were artificial. The allergic reaction around her mouth and throat indicates a severe allergic reaction to something she ate. The delivery man had food in his teeth, suggesting he and Heather shared the cookie that killed her. Her fists are clenched. Could she have discovered the murder weapon at the time of her death? So yeah, like the idea.
The cookie. Okay.
Yeah, but like if you were severely allergic to something in like a white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, I'm assuming the nuts. If you were severely allergic to macadamia nuts, would you eat a cookie from a place that served macadamia nut cookies? I sure wouldn't. I mean, I guess he could have shown up and been like, I made this for you. And I know you're allergic to nuts, so there aren't any in it. But, like, that's my thing, is I know people with allergies, and if it's just that severe, you have to be so careful.
I feel like the issue here is a lot of these are fairly loose. They're kind of loosey-goosey.
You're loosey-goosey.
I am loosey-goosey.
All right, do you want to know the next? Do you want to hear the next one?
Let's do the next one.
Fundraiser fatality. Are you insane? Turn that hose off right now, Detective Wolf barked at a walking perm in an oversized Cornell sweatshirt. So sorry. The woman fought with the spigot as the last burst of water sprayed onto the concrete, trickling across the crime scene. Her sweatshirt was soaked. Behind her, a line of glitter-clad signs shouted, "Honk if you love football," and "Rub-a-dub-dub, give your car a scrub." The detective moved over to the tent where the body lay under a sheet. With his back to the small army of moms in a hushed cluster behind the police tape, he lifted the sheet to see the damage. Blunt force trauma to the right side of the head. In the glint of sunlight, traces of glitter sparkled from her blood-caked face. A baby pink Skip-It Skip-It! Sat approximately 5 yards from the body, partially smashed and smeared with blood. Bludgeoned by a Skip-It? What a way to go. Those things were heavy, too. "So you're telling me none of you saw anything?" Detective Wolf pressed the crowd. A full symphony of crickets played while the moms stared at their feet. He walked to the line of women and sized them up. Cornell spoke up first. "1 minute we're all laughing and watching this Jeep Grand Cherokee, or at least I thought, and the next I hear this terrible scream from behind a parked car. When I ran over, Cheryl was covered in blood. What time was this?" A woman with a double stack of watches lining her right wrist glanced down to consult her resources. "Probably 30 minutes ago." "Cheryl wasn't herself today. She couldn't even come up with a good slogan," piped another. "That's not the only thing she couldn't come up with," another woman huffed, rubbing her fingers together in the air. Detective Wolf hummed the Skip-It theme song that had been stuck in his head since his arrival. "The very best thing of all is I know who made her fall." Who killed Cheryl?
I might have to read that one while we're on break to figure it out.
Skip it, skip it.
Yeah, do we need to look up the Skip-It theme song?
Do you think the Skip-It theme song is going to be important?
Skip-It theme song lyrics coming up. We ready? Hey now kids, come gather around, see what just skipped into town. So skip it. You want to jump the top, skip it, skip it, skip it, and scream it, and boosh, and bop shoo bop. Because the very best thing of all, there's a counter in the ball. So try to beat your very best score. See if you can jump a whole lot more. Skip it, skip it. Come on everybody, skip it. Roaring good fun from Tiger Toys.
So we had the very best thing of all.
The very best thing of all is there's a counter on the ball. There's a counter on the ball.
Oh. Do you wear wrist on your non-dominant hand?
Do you wear wrists on your?
Do you wear wrists? Do you wear watches?
You wear watches on your. You usually wear your watch on your non-dominant hand. Yes.
Well, the lady has the double stack of watches on her right wrist.
Double stack of watches.
If I were to hit you left-handed, I hit you here, which is your right side.
Yes.
And she was blunt force traumatized on her right side.
Okay.
So the lady with 2 watches murdered her.
On her
right wrist.
Her right wrist. Okay. I
don't know why.
This is classic. This is classic To Kill a Mockingbird. Atticus Finch.
Where we've learned all of our best detective skills.
Yeah.
Bludgeoned by a Skip-It. What a way to go.
All right. Do you want? I feel like we got that one.
Okay, I can check that one.
I thought the double thing of watches was like such an odd feature.
Detail?
Yeah, odd detail.
It's clear from the tension in the crowd that the women are hiding something, but there's only one fundraiser mom who could have murdered Cheryl. Yeah, there's only one who's left-handed. Mm-hmm. Her wound was on the right side of her head, indicating that she'd been bludgeoned by a left-handed person. The woman with the 2 watches wore them on her right wrist, which is typical of lefties.
Okay.
So that one was really easy. That one required no knowledge of the 90s.
All right, we have 30 seconds. Do you want to do one for the gap?
All right.
One for the gap. Come on.
It's going to take more than 30 seconds to read.
That's fine.
Death by grunge tape. Click. Rewind. Detective Wolf listened to the squeal of the backtracking tape for what felt like the 100th time. With a firm press of his forefinger, he clicked the play button once more to find something, anything. But all he heard was the raspy and haunting voice of Kirk Tremaine, the smashing sound of drums and cymbals, and the melodic beat before the sound of a gunshot, followed by several minutes of nada. This case should have been Detective Wolf's jurisdiction, but Kirk Tremaine's rattled bandmates begged him to take it on. Oh, it shouldn't have been his jurisdiction. But Kirk Tremaine's rattled bandmates begged him to take it on. Kirk was a rising star, destined to become the biggest act in grunge and already worth millions. Wolf sorted through more evidence. The ballistics report indicated just one clean, close-range shot to the temple, a smudged, messy scrape of paper with the threat, "You can never leave me," and paparazzi photos of Kirk and his wife Clarissa arguing behind a concert venue. But no gun was found at the scene. As he let out a sigh, a man in a pinstripe suit strolled into his office. "Are you the detective working on the Kirk Tremaine case?" the man asked. "Please take a seat," Detective Wolf gestured to the leather chair in front of his desk. The man sat down, politely unbuttoning his suit jacket and silencing his beeper. "I'm Kirk's manager. I've got some important information about his wife that I think you'll find pretty damning." "I hear you loud and clear," Detective Wolf said with a smirk. What conclusion has Detective Wolf drawn?
All right, and we'll find out. We'll find out after the break. So we're going to hop on over, and we'll be back in 45 minutes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but let's go. Alright, I don't even know if it picks up on the audio here, but we'll shut it off anyway. There we go. Bam. Alright, and we're back to talk about things and stuff. I hope you enjoyed watching me write notes about Duel Masters for a good bit of that last stretch. I have recently picked up, I think we mentioned, the first 2 volumes of Destroy All Humans, They Can't Be Regenerated. And so I'm looking into, like, forever ago, this had to have been before college, even before graduating high school. I heard about Duel Masters, and initially, for like the first 3 years it was out, Duel Masters was a Magic the Gathering manga. But because of a bunch of complicated things happening in the States and between Wizards of the Coast and Takara Tomy, it ended up being like its own game. And then they tried to bring it over again as another game because it failed the first time, and that lasted even a shorter amount of time. So one of the things I might seriously look at when we get over, if we get over to Japan next summer, which is one of our goals, is seeing if I can find some of the early volumes of Duel Masters. Stateside, we just got these Dreamwave Pocket editions that are just based on the cartoon. By this point, it's fully Duel Masters. It's a completely different game. And the Cinemanga, because the anime was apparently doing well. Like, there's 7 volumes of this, where there's only 2 of these. Unfortunately, when they were making Duel Masters, Dreamwave was producing it, and Dreamwave went out of business like the beginning of the year after they started printing this.
Wow.
So this is it. This is all of Duel Masters that exist in the States.
I was saying all that got translated.
Yeah, and then, like I said, there were 7 of these, but this is literally just the anime cells with dialogue over them.
What was the card game we got into when we were over there that I really liked?
that you really liked?
Yeah.
I mean, there's Battle Spirits.
Battle Spirits.
Battle Spirits is seeing a resurgence, I think.
I
like
liked
stateside.
I liked Battle Spirits.
Yeah, well, we should check it out then, maybe, because they're bringing it back over here.
I made a cute deck.
Also, we should play any number of our pre-constructed. What's the Disney one? Lorcana. Yeah. We've got a lot of Lorcana merch, and we haven't actually touched it. So
well, we mostly got it so we'd have it to play with our daughter. And our son, potentially.
That's fair.
So, like, it was an investment in the future because we wanted to just have them so that if they get into it, we've got stuff from before they got into it.
Yeah. I just wonder how much of this do I want to go into? Because I find it really interesting, but, like, again, I'm ostensibly a booktuber, not a card game channel.
Honey, you're small enough that you can make things about whatever you want.
Whatever.
The algorithm, you are not making money on this, so you don't have to worry about a video tanking and it eating into your income because the algorithm hates you.
Mm-hmm.
You should this is the perfect time to make videos about whatever you want.
What if this one blows up and now I'm stuck talking about manga adaptations of card games?
I mean,
I guess there are worse things that could happen in my life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I did. I wrote notes about the history of the Duel Masters trading card game, the anime. It also ties in with Pokemon and Japan creating Pokemon USA. So, there's a lot going on. What did you read about?
I read some nights. I didn't get hardly anything read. I think I'm just really tired. And this is very dense, and I kept trying to read the Japanese, and I also translated all the German.
How'd that go for you?
Fine.
Was it? Do you feel like you got some like dramatic revelations, or do you feel like it was a lot of effort for not a lot of return?
It wasn't a lot of effort.
Oh, okay. Well,
it was easy.
In my face,
it was easy to type these things into Google Translate and to go, yep, that's what that means.
Yeah.
Because there's a very good chance that that's how they translated this.
Okay.
Don't you think?
I mean, probably. I think my phone's super dead.
I mean, there's a chance that the authors did a lot of research and consulted people who spoke 3 other languages. But there's also a chance that they just, like, typed it into Google Translate.
Yeah.
Who knows?
What are your thoughts so far?
It's weird.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I had the 5-year time skip.
Okay.
So, like...
Yeah, I feel like the beginning is just, like, to intro you into this world, and they're like, okay, now let's get to, like, the actual story bit.
I figured out pretty much immediately here, I was like, oh man, he a ghost. And, like, you don't see that here. But because he has the black text box, the only other person you've seen who had a black text box was the ghost they talked to.
Ghosty ghost.
And then, like, you see him in the background here.
Yeah. So part of it is kind of that mystery, like that framing device of a mystery where you jump forward and then you have things you're figuring out in the current day that,
like, what happened in the interim.
What happened in the space between, right? So there is a little bit of that in there, but, like, the end, man, oh my god, it was...
Well, I'm nowhere near that yet.
It's something.
I don't know if I'm just...
was something.
I'm like, what else did I do? I had some snacks, but I'm like, what did I do in that 45 minutes? Like, I feel like I should have gotten more read than that. So I don't know if I was just reading really slow or what.
Yeah. I mean, I only wrote this 1 page of notes, but I was going through, like, I'm trying to synthesize information from a number of sources. There's a video I need to rewatch too. So, but I don't plan on sleeping much tonight. So.
Oh, okay, I am. I'm tired.
Yeah, go to sleep. I'm gonna read some manga. Not now.
Oh, okay.
We have people here.
Hello, people.
In our house, kind of.
People in our house. We have guests.
We have guests.
We have guests.
Try to act like you're happy to see them.
I am happy to see them.
All right, valued guests. We also want to mention that we have another stream coming up in just a few days. So on Saturday we'll be doing reading sprints. So we'll just be expressly reading books. I mean, this one was basically reading sprints. A lot of times I work on the
unless plans change.
Yeah, unless plans change, which they might, but I don't know. Yeah, that is true. Because we're not sure
what day our plans are.
So it might be tomorrow.
But the plan is
Saturday. The plan is the 15th, but who knows? Might be tomorrow. Might be tonight. Technically tonight.
Don't say that. You will die if it's tonight. You need sleep.
I mean, I'll sleep eventually. I just don't want to sleep.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Right now.
All right. Did we have a mystery we needed to solve?
I believe so, but I think I turned on the music and went, "This is the solution. I figured it out."
Yeah, it was the detail we were supposed to pick up on was that there was a melodic beeping on the tape. And that when his manager comes in, his manager wears a beeper.
Oh, his manager wears a beeper.
No one else wears a beeper.
Got him. Yeah.
No one else wears beepers in the 90s.
In this, the year of our Lord, 1995.
So should I check it?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty confident that's it.
Yeah.
And you were just saying you were kind of disappointed that the very first one we read that was off stream was the one that you needed 90s information to solve, and all the rest so far have been this little detail, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, these aren't really long enough to have much in the way of red herrings. The solution for this is super short. Detective Wolf suspected the manager. There was a melodic beep just before Kirk was killed on the tape, which Wolf identifies as the beeper silenced by the manager. The threatening note was the manager telling Kirk he could never leave him, lest he lost millions, not the wife.
Sure. Here's okay, first of all, did you catch it? This was completely a Kurt Cobain, Courtney Love thing.
Oh, no.
What's his name?
Kirk Tremaine.
Kirk Tremaine.
His wife Clarissa.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I clocked that almost immediately.
And they didn't even put that in here,
So that's our 90s reference right there. But yeah, like you just said, plenty of people wear pagers. I think this is pretty flimsy evidence. Our detective probably needs to calm down.
Well, and in the solution, it did just say he suspects him.
Right.
So it just seems like that's the moment where he's like, maybe the manager also has a motive.
Maybe I'll look into it. Maybe the manager also has a motive.
Not where he's like, put your hands up, you're under arrest.
Sarah, I'm going to have to ask you to...
calm down. But yeah, I really liked how the first one, how you had to you could figure out that it was Titanic, and you didn't necessarily have to, but you could figure out it was Titanic, and that it had to do with how video stores worked.
You had to know how video stores in the 90s worked,
and none of the other ones have had that. They've just been Skip It sure was a thing.
Hey, do you remember Bed Bath & Beyond? Bed Bath & Beyond still
a thing.
It's our mall.
It's still very popular. It's not going anywhere.
Surely not.
No. Although I do feel it was really big in the 90s.
I feel like it was pretty big.
I remember everyone in school comparing the flavors, the scents that they liked.
Yeah.
Being oh, you gotta have, you gotta try sweet pea, and I really like. Oh, there was one a lot of people liked, a sage one that a lot of my friends like.
Prominent enough for a Family Guy joke. That doesn't just happen to any brand necessarily.
Yeah,
so.
I feel it was one of those big fad things for a while that everyone was really invested.
Yeah.
In Bed Bath & Beyond scents.
Yeah.
And you had your favorite scent and
Yeah, my favorite scent was outside of the store where I could actually breathe. It's overwhelming. I remember being I don't think this was a Bed Bath & Beyond, but I remember being in Japan. And it might have been a Bed Bath & Beyond. There was a fragrance store at the lower level of a mall that we were going to. and I could not handle it. It was bad.
I don't remember this.
Yeah. So.
So yeah, this is weird, but I haven't really gotten that far into it.
Yeah, I like it though. What are your thoughts about the setting? I mean,
The setting is weird.
Yeah, do you like it? Is it like good weird, or is it like?
Yeah, so far I think it's good weird. Like it's very like Earth butt.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's vampires and ghosts, and they're here.
Mm-hmm.
Like it says at the beginning that they are common and benign.
Yeah. Have you read you've met the vampire?
Yeah, we met Grey.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Grey?
She's weird.
This is one of the aspects of it that really gives me Fully Cooley vibes.
Is with her
like disaffected, female love interest, kind of older, that just like,
where she's like, I just wanted the hat because she had it.
Yeah, like comes in, like very
flippant.
Yeah, very flippant, very like quirky, beat of their own drum kind of thing. The character, I think I could put them side by side, and the characterization would fall pretty well together. So, alrighty. Anything else?
I will say that Vince seems better adjusted than Nauta is in Fully Cooley, and also older.
Okay. Yeah.
At least he seems that way so far. He seems better adjusted.
Yeah, I don't know. I would agree with that as well.
But like I said, with him being older, he's just inherently more mature than Nauta. Nauta's like 10.
Yeah. And you have like the weird side characters as well. But there's more of a, this is like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer side to it. There's more of like a serious edge to a lot of it.
Yeah.
Whereas Fully Cooley
with
was
Ivory being a like contract killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Fully Cooley was largely absurdist humor.
Yeah. And they just never explained anything.
Yeah. There's a guy who had seaweed for eyebrows. And just was...
And the TV guy and aliens and what? And yeah.
And there was a story there. You had to like dig for it a little bit.
Fully Cooley is such an interesting artifact because like I feel like the current generation of anime fans, if they just binge it on Crunchyroll, they're going to go, what was that? And they're never going to think about it again.
Okay.
But because for us, it was on Adult Swim, and which you watched every night. So you had the chance to watch it like 3 or 4 times in fairly close succession. It's only, 6 episodes?
I think so, yeah.
So like, we would watch it, and you could watch that like 3 times in a month. Easy. Even if you weren't watching every night. Yeah. And so you would catch things. And you would go, oh. And like you would watch the ending you would watch the beginning right after having watched the ending. And you would go, oh, some of those things were cyclical. And I think it kind of really gained from that rewatching in a short period of time. That, like I said, if the current generation of anime fans watches it, they'll binge it in 3 hours. They'll go, that was weird, and they'll never think about it again.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't know.
So I really do think it's interesting because I think Fully Cooley demands at least a second watch.
Yeah. Do we have a lot of like really esoteric anime that's mainstream now? I feel like not a lot.
Like what?
Is. I don't know. Like that like Fully Cooley I feel is fairly like it doesn't give you a lot to work off of. We just watched Death Parade. That had a lot of like ambiguity.
But I don't know that I would necessarily call Fully Cooley mainstream. I don't know that anyone's talking about it anymore.
I mean, but at the time it was.
It was, yeah.
At the time it was very popular. There was also a weird time though because we were getting like less sporadic or more sporadic anime things. Like it was very much in the in the hands of the American distributors of what was actually going to get seen stateside. Whereas now I feel like we are fairly flooded, and rather ubiquitous.
A lot of it was also the Japanese execs not wanting to take the chance and lose money because they didn't trust that things would do well in the American market.
Never going to have a Ghost Stories again.
No, that was a one-off. But like something like Serial Experiments Lane, I feel like that was pretty esoteric.
Yeah.
Maybe Habane Renmei.
Yeah. Boogie Pop Phantom.
I love Boogie Pop Phantom.
I need to finish it.
That show.
I need to finish it. So let's watch it.
All right, it's next on our list, I guess. First, we need to finish Romantic Killer.
Yeah. Okay. So enough anime talk.
Enough.
Because you want to go to sleep.
Nah, I'll be up for a bit. So thoughts on this book?
Fine. I want to do more of them.
Yeah.
Like we can save them for the next time we have a thing. But I want more like the first one.
Yeah, same.
I want more like the actual needing to know 90s pop culture stuff.
And I mean, there's what, 40 in here? There's 70 in here.
Okay. Well.
So hopefully, in the famous words of El Casimino's son, they can't all be bangers.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've just encountered some of the not bangers.
Yeah.
And there will be others that are more than just we sprinkle in a tiny bit of 90s nostalgia into like the flavor. Because like the car wash one, that could have been set at any time.
Yeah.
It wasn't even important that it was a skip it.
Yeah.
It was just the skip it was the bludgeoning weapon.
Yeah.
The skip it was there so that they could make a joke about the jingle.
I looked up the jingle and everything, and it didn't help.
Well, no, it was just for the joke.
All right. So, thanks for stopping by.
Oh, we're done. Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like we're done. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out with us. I'm also worried that the camera's just gonna straight up die.
That's true. It does that.
I hope your reading journey is going well. I hope you're finding things that you find exciting and weird and you want to do like deep dives into. Anything you want to add?
I hope you have good people to do fun things with.
It's a good thought. So I guess until the next time, take care. We'll see you on Saturday, maybe tomorrow.
See you next chapter.
Bye, guys.